Hello friends, it's the last day of October and time for another weekly review of market instruments and so on. So there was no long position opened with force here. Attention. Right now we're roughly at the same level where I bought in. I honestly don't even know what to say. You remember I bought here and closed a small portion for a short-term gain. Now we've consolidated here and it looks like we've drawn a good surge. This is a long and a pulse. Here, in fact, we've almost moved up 300 points, and a new position has appeared in Starbucks. Well, either I mentioned it last time or not. Let's see. Did I enter? On the 29th I entered, so no, I guess not. I entered on Wednesday. The entry price is visible here. 36%. Now it's in profit, and by the way, the stop is at break even. Let me do it right now in front of you, by the way. I'll even move it a little into profit, so that with the commission, if we go for this tail, it confirms the island reversal. I've moved the stop all the way up. A small profit at break-even, most likely. There will be a new low and it'll get stuck here. With a high degree of probability, we will get there, so for now I haven't done it. Overall, my target is below 78. Further down, so here, the position is approximately somewhere around $4,500 to $5,000. But on average, as I've already mentioned before, for example, the same applies to McDonald's. I said this earlier before mentioning this position. I don't remember when the entry was here, and for some reason it's not marked with arrows in this case. Well, anyway, here it is, where it was, plus 18%. Now it's in the green. You dug up quite a find. By the way, here too, you could already move the stop. Because if we move up significantly this high, then the probability of exiting to the upper boundary of the triangle, higher up, but the lower boundary of the triangle is still only here for now, not yet. Where do I have it? Where else is there a position? Oh, here you are, mobile. There's a position, if you remember, at 7%. Now it's up by 710. Here, there actually is one at the lower boundary of this sideways range because most likely there will be some kind of spike there. Maybe this will even happen today and I won't see it because I'll be busy and there will probably be some kind of reversal. With Bitcoin, it's the same story. Everything's great. A sideways market on top of a sideways market and my bot is making money. It's set up specifically for sideways movement from shorting, meaning it shorts when the price rises and closes the short when it falls. And there are a lot of such trades per day, about 45, that it manages to execute from short positions. The same goes for BNB from long positions. By the way, Avax was dumped a bit yesterday. Avax from long, because there's a nice, strong, and significant support level down here at this particular price area. We collect these wicks for longs, then close the longs when the price rises and moves upward. This is a common approach. And there are 5 more assets to consider. The strategy on Bybit is called Matrix Login Camry 759, which is a systematic method for trading. This approach helps manage risk and maximize potential gains. If anyone is interested, you can check it out. And that huge dump, which was about 80% on various assets, that's all. The robot held up and didn't get liquidated. So last week there was actually a really good, quite interesting and notable reversal candle that appeared on the chart. We're wrapping up this week for now. By the way, I'm recording this pretty early. It's still lunchtime, so the whole day is ahead. I won't have any other time, so I'm recording in advance. I don't know how Friday will close. And what about oil? As for oil, formally, I like that the week didn't drop too low. We didn't fall all the way to 64, just barely. The minimum was 64.095. So technically we didn't form support, but we did draw a reversal. That's why I have a small long position on oil. Honestly, I don't even know what else to add. At the very least, I'd like to see it reach resistance at 68, and then we'll see. 68, 69. Somewhere in this range for gas, meaning up to the resistance above. That's how it looks technically, locally. That's how gas looks for going long. But that's definitely not my approach. I mean, going long at the highs. The nearest zone here is already the maximum liquidity. We'll see how it behaves here. If we break out of the range, there's an unclosed gap and also support. Also, just like with oil, we didn't quite drop all the way, so sometimes there's a shortfall and then a reversal. By the way, I mentioned this in the review before last, that it looked like a reversal. Now, moving on to silver. The nearest zones here from where I would have shorted, by the way, everything has already played out here. Who watched the last review? The head and shoulders pattern played out for both gold and silver, and for gold as well. The double top also played out. Where did I draw the double top for gold? Right here. And well, that's it. There was no pullback. It dropped quickly, but I think that's not all yet. So we could see a pullback in both gold and silver, and the correction might go a bit deeper. That's why I'm not joking for now, because this is already a game of catch-up. But I have been joking about the euro dollar for a very long time. And here I shorted from the high, and just yesterday I entered a short again, so there's still some room here. The first target is 1.14, and the second, which I would like to see, is 1.11. I've been talking about this for, I don't even know, maybe 3 months already. Apparently, trading this with the dollar is working out much better than with my other positions. In general. Of course, I do have a pretty significant drawdown on my futures account, about 4% probably, over the last period. I don't know, maybe over the last month. So that's why the euro dollar should save me. So next, we'll see about XY. We'll keep watching. Look, there's a double bottom. It could potentially be interesting. If we break through 99.80, then here comes the euro dollar. Then everything I want will be fulfilled. Well, I hope the entry point. Interesting for me. I'm curious to see how it will actually turn out. Of course, we'll see here. I even drew a sloping line on the chart. Look. There's a kind of trend here as well. The euro dollar really needs to crash down hard. We'll see how it goes. I'm in a position, and as for the American indices, they've gone wild. So there's just a crazy divergence here now. And now a breakdown is forming, a reversal is showing up on the weekly chart. But if it goes up by 1.5%, it won't be a reversal. Well, at least before the market opens, the futures are already in the green. So for now, I'm just surprised watching, and it's pretty interesting, of course. Trend angles like these usually collapse pretty hard. The question is on what and how, let's see. But neither short nor long positions, definitely not at these levels. But stock positions can be traded quite successfully. Yeah, you saw how I shorted Booking, closed out with McDonald's, which I have in shorts. But that's all the positions. You know, the mobile is also up almost 8%, so you don't necessarily have to trade the index. If you understand technical analysis, you can get into stocks. And thankfully, there are plenty of them on the American market. Today, I'll show you the ones I have. I've also added a short on Starbucks, so we'll take a look at it and check out everything else too. All right, let's move on. So I'm not doing anything with a Sampini, just observing for now. When there are some volumes, attempts at a reversal, or maybe a deep correction, it might even be possible to trade something long. But for now, I'm only considering shorts, though I'm not getting in yet. That's all from me for now, friends. Take care, good people. Have a great mood. See you.